Hi everyone, this is my prediction video for the Copa America Centenario, which, takes place later this summer. The draw came out a couple days ago, so I'm only just now getting around to making my prediction video for it. And we have some pretty interesting groups here. And keep in mind that the predictions I make right now today are subject to change over the course of the next couple of months, depending on new squad developments, who announces that they're not going to participate in the tournament, who's going to instead opt out for the Olympics. So it's a very tricky task trying to predict this tournament because there's no reason to believe that all squads are going to have their best players there. So this is just a brief prediction video on this point in time, what teams I think will perform well in the groups and go on to win the tournament. So in Group A, we have the United States, the hosts of the Copa America, Costa Rica, Colombia, and Paraguay. This is a very difficult group for the USA. I think this is one of the most difficult groups we could have gotten. Costa Rica had a very good 2014 World Cup. Traditionally in CONCACAF, they're always one of the more difficult opponents that we face. I think other than Mexico, Costa Rica is probably the best team in CONCACAF. You have the big three, Mexico, the USA, and Costa Rica are the best teams in CONCACAF. So they're always difficult to beat. They're always difficult to beat. I have never seen a game between the USA and Costa Rica that was an easy match for the United States. Colombia, of course, is the best team in this group. They have the potential to go on to win the whole tournament. But again, the whole question arises of, are they going to bring their best team? Because Jose Peckerman even said that they are experimenting with young players. So that'll be interesting to see if they bring a full-strength squad this summer or if it's a half-assed kind of squad, because that will affect their performance in the group. And we have Paraguay, who, even though Paraguay are one of the more weaker teams in South America, Paraguay are traditionally a very tough team to beat. They have a very disciplined defense, which took them to the Copa America in the semifinals in the last two editions of the Copa America, despite the fact that they failed to qualify for the World Cup and even finished bottom of their group in qualifying for the 2014 World Cup in Brazil. So Paraguay is a very difficult team to break down. Their defense is one of the most stubborn in South America. So the United States is going to struggle against Paraguay. And so my predictions as far as who's going to advance out of this group, for now, again, this is subject to change over time. I think Costa Rica is going to win the group. And I think the United States is going to come in second. Now, I don't just say that out of bias for me being American. I say that because I can point to logical reasons for why I think the U.S. will get out of this group. One, we're having it on home soil. Our players and our fans are going to be riled up. The United States has a point to prove. We had a very poor Gold Cup last summer in 2015, where we finished in fourth place, losing to Panama in a penalty shootout. And the players will really want to make up for that and to put in a good performance to avenge that humiliating defeat. And I just don't think Paraguay are strong enough to come out of this group, even though they are a good team. It's important to remember that they're the second worst team in South America behind Bolivia. And I think Colombia is not going to bring a full strength squad. I don't think they're going to bring a full strength squad, especially if Colombia defeats the U.S. this March in the playoff to determine the last spot in the Olympic qualifying tournament. So my predictions on who's going to advance out of this group, I'm going to say Costa Rica first, United States second, Colombia third, Paraguay fourth. So Costa Rica primero, Estados Unidos segundo. In Group B, we have Brazil, Haiti, Ecuador, and Peru. Again, it's tricky because Brazil's hosting the Olympics this summer. They want to win the gold medal on home soil for the first time ever. And there are rumors that Neymar is going to play in the Olympics. It's not confirmed, but it's a rumor. So Brazil may not have a full-strength squad in this tournament. But looking at their opponents in this group, Group B, they still should come through this group. And I would be a little bit surprised if they don't advance out of this group, at least in second place. So I'm going to say, you look at Haiti. Haiti's not a bad team, but they're one of the weakest teams in this tournament, the Caribbean island nation. They can give other CONCACAF teams a really hard time, but they don't have a chance against other South American squads. So I don't think Haiti's going to advance. I think Haiti will finish last in this group. And it's really a three-way race between Brazil, Ecuador, and Peru. Peru, don't underestimate Peru. Peru is a very strong team. They came third place in the Copa America in the last two editions in 2011 and 2015, especially 2015, where nobody expected them to go that far. They finished again in third place, and they could have gotten to the final because they gave Chile a really tough game in the semifinal, and had they played their cards right, they might have gotten to the final against Argentina. So it's tricky. Which two teams do I think is going to come out of this group out of those three that I mentioned? No disrespect to Haiti. You have to think Brazil's going to do it. You have to think that. Because it would just be a complete, utter disaster if they didn't, and Dunga would probably be sacked. So I'm going to say Brazil will come in first. And I'm going to say Ecuador will come in second. Ecuador traditionally does not perform well in Copa Americas. I understand that. But Ecuador, I think, coming off a tremendously efficient qualifying season in South America. Right now, they're top of the table. They have 12 points out of a possible 12 with 4 wins out of 4. No other team in South America has done that in qualifying since Argentina in 2002. A little bit of trivia for you guys. And they are in dominant form right now. And I think they're a better team than Peru, slightly. So I'm going to say Brazil and Ecuador advance. Maybe Ecuador wins the group and Brazil comes in second. But either way, I expect both of them to advance. Group C. We have Mexico, Uruguay, Jamaica, and Venezuela. Don't underestimate Jamaica. They made it to the final of the Gold Cup last summer, losing to Mexico. So they're going to be looking for revenge against the Mexicans. Jamaica also had a respectable performance in the Copa America in 2015, where they lost to Argentina and Uruguay, but only by margins of 1-0. So Jamaica is a very athletic and physical team. They're not going to be easy to beat. Venezuela is in crisis mode right now. Not just their country economically, but their soccer team has exactly 0 points out of a potential 12. They lost all four of their first 4 qualifying games in South America. History says they're not going to the World Cup because no team that has ever lost their first 4 matches has ever gone on to qualify. So I don't think Venezuela, I'm sorry, is going to come out of this group. I think they're going to finish last. In fact, I think Jamaica can even beat them and get crucial 3 points. The real match to watch in this group is going to be between Mexico and Uruguay. Uruguay is going to have Luis Suarez back, so they're going to be in top form. They're already in very good form because, they have 9 points out of a possible 12 in qualifying. Even with Suarez's absence, their defense is probably, I would say their defense is the best in South America. That's right. I think Uruguay has the best defense in South America. But, look at Mexico. I think Mexico's going to take this tournament much more seriously. This is a great test for the Mexican team and their new coach, Juan Carlos Osorio. And they're going to bring their full squad. Maybe not their full squad, but they're going to bring a strong squad to try to make a statement in this tournament. So I got to say Mexico and Uruguay will advance. In what order? Who knows? Mexico might win this group. Mexico might come in first and Uruguay second, or it could be Uruguay first, Mexico second. I am going to say that I think Mexico will win this group. I think they'll tie with Uruguay 1-1, and I think they'll beat Venezuela and Jamaica. So Mexico first, Uruguay second. Okay, so Group D. The final group. We have the two finalists, Argentina from the last Copa America, Argentina and Chile, in the same group. Who would have thought that? So Argentina, Chile, Panama, and Bolivia. Well, first of all, Bolivia's not coming out of this group. They're going to lose all 3 games, maybe get a draw against Panama. Argentina should come out of this group for obvious reasons. There are some rumors that Messi won't be there at the Copa America of the summer. Even without Messi, they have no excuse not to come out of this group. They should come out of this group. I think they're going to come out of this group. Second spot, I think, is up for grabs. Everyone's saying that, Argentina and Chile, they're going to walk away with this group. I don't think so. I think Argentina will advance. But Chile is a team in transition. And, Jorge Sampaoli quit his job to go work in Europe. And Chile has been in a slight decline in their form in qualifying in the last couple of games. So I think Panama might, just maybe, will be able to take second away from Chile. Maybe. It depends on which Panamanian side shows up. I have no reason to believe that they're not going to bring their best squad. But in the end, I'll give Chile the benefit of the doubt, and I'll say that Chile will do just enough to advance. That's my phone that's ringing. Just ignore it. Yeah, just ignore my phone. I think Argentina and Chile will advance. In what order? It doesn't really matter what order, honestly. So those are my group predictions. Very quickly, my quarterfinal, semifinal predictions. So it would look like, based on the format, that in the quarterfinals, Costa Rica would play against Ecuador. And in that match, I would say Costa Rica gets to the semifinals. Also, another semifinal match, Brazil against the United States. Sorry, I love USA, but Brazil's got this on lock. Argentina against Uruguay. Gotta give it to Argentina. Although that'll be a very close match. And Mexico against Chile. I'm going to give it to Mexico. I'm going to give it to Mexico over Chile. So then the semifinals would be, let's see, the semifinal would be Argentina against Costa Rica and Mexico against Brazil. I will say Argentina beats Costa Rica, gets to the final, and I will say that Mexico against Brazil, that's a tough one. That is a tough one because if Mexico brings their best team and Brazil does not, I'm going to give it to Mexico. So I'm going to give it to Mexico. Yeah, you heard me. You heard me correctly. I think Mexico's going to get to the final. I'm not Mexican. I'm not even Hispanic. I'm just an American guy, but these are my predictions. I think the final is going to be Argentina against Mexico. And I'm going to have to give it to Argentina to win the Copa America Centenario because I don't see Argentina reaching a second final Copa America in a row in 1 year and losing again. I don't see it happening. So that's my prediction for the Copa America. I might have made one or two mistakes as far as how the bracket is set up in the quarterfinals, and if I did, I'll look back at that and I will revise it. Again, this is just my early prediction. These predictions are subject to change over time, and I plan on making another video sometime in May or June with an updated, final, revised version of my predictions. So just to recap, I think Argentina will win the Copa America. Mexico in second. Third place, Brazil. Fourth place, Costa Rica. To all my American fans out there, I think the United States will do just enough to avoid a disastrous tournament. And I think the U.S. will get to the quarterfinals, but I don't see us going anywhere beyond that.